I'm doing it on my iPad, and of course, it's different. So, I am here to tell you how are you feeling today. Today is an amazing day. All sorts of wonderful things are happening, and we are here. So, it is that magical time of the day. It's almost 12 o'clock, and that's when we begin the live on Thursday. I'm doing it on this thing, on the iPad, and each of these devices are different. So this one here is on, didn't give me the opportunity to put my topic on, but it is, where are you? That's the topic. A little bit further on, are you aware where you are? Do you have any idea where you really are in this moment called time? Because we need to always know where we are. We seldom do that. We never, ever take the time to know where we are. And that is really something that keeps us back. We miss opportunities. We lose opportunities because of that. Sometimes the opportunities are thrown at us, right in our lap. But we do not know where we are on the journey called life. We sometimes don't even know who we are on the journey called life. We show up, we do the things we're supposed to do, and we are not aware, hey, in this moment here, this is what is happening. Can I tune in into this? I am live, guys, on my iPad. I'm trying everything. And I don't know how it's going to work. So I see there's one person there. I cannot see where it allows us to give messages or say something. If you can send a message, it will show up somewhere and I'll see who is here. And it would be nice if you can hear me. So, and if you cannot hear me, send me a message on my iPhone and I will stop because I have no idea what I'm doing. I didn't do it on the computer today. I love a little adventure and I like trying new things, even if I don't know what I'm doing. It just makes me feel like I'm crazy anyway. So, our topic today is, where are you? And the thing is, the rest of it is saying, are you aware where you are? Because it's really important in our life that we should be aware where we are. We should be aware where we are on this journey because sometimes we're sitting in the moment and the world is marching by. And in those moments, when we're sitting or when we're with others, we're not even tuned in with the people with whom we're together. And for that reason, we miss the connection with those that are important to us. I would say to someone, well, what did you do yesterday? Oh, I went out to lunch with my granddaughter or something. And what did you talk about? Oh, not really anything. I am not sure. And how was lunch? I will purposely ask this kind of questions. What was it that you had for lunch? What was your granddaughter wearing? And honestly, if out of 5 questions they get one right, it's a good day. And I'm thinking, so you weren't paying attention. So I asked my friend the other day, when you go to lunch with your friends, do you take your cell phones with you? She said, yes, it's in my purse. I said, so do you take it out to check when you hear a ding? Yes, we do. We both do. I said, how long that does last for? It depends on who it is and what the situation is. So I said, can't you not just send a note and say, listen, I'm at lunch. I'll talk to you later. And silence. And that is something people do. I remembered a few years ago, my daughter Jillian and her husband came to visit. Hello, I am on my iPad and it's a different screen. I'm on YouTube, it's a different screen. Just going. So, hello, thanks for dropping in. If you can put a comment, put it and I'll find out where it's going to show. So, anyway, Jillian and her husband came to visit and we were sitting in the living room. And then, so I'm very grateful to sit down. And then all of a sudden, I notice, here it is. They're on their devices. Two separate people, two devices. And mom is just sitting there. I looked at the situation, and you guys know me. I got up and I walked straight to the kitchen. I had things to do in my kitchen. So I went to the kitchen, and then about 10 minutes later, when they realized I wasn't there, they got up and Julian came in the kitchen. Why are you in the kitchen? I said, what's the point of sitting with you two? I said, you're on your phone, he's on his phone, and I'm sitting there at the odd end of the triangle. The two of you are like this, and I'm in the point. So I got up. I have things to do in my kitchen. I have things to put away. Whatever I'm doing, I need to be there. And she said to me, oh, I'm sorry. And that was the last time they did that. They never ever did it again because I told them I think it is disrespectful. It is disrespectful for your friend who also is out with you, and because somebody they care for, they love, and it's okay, it's not an emergency. And they pick up the phone and they're having this conversation and you cannot talk, or the two of you are together and you're both the same, then why are you together? Why did you go to lunch together? That's why the question for the topic is, where are you? Are you aware where you are? Description of the topic. And I'm talking about children, parents, friends. But what about your husband, your wife, your significant other, your soulmate, the person you couldn't do without? What's going on there? You're with them and you're both sitting with your cell phone in your hand. Can't you not put that device down? So when you come to the time of your relationship and you notice that your relationship is taking a turn, a downward turn, there is more silence than there is touch. There is more silence than there is voice. There is more silence and there is no loving. And that's what is important. You have a lover, a husband, but you are disconnected because of your tablets, of your devices. Everything, you're there. You cannot stop at home for a moment and pay attention. Even at the dinner table, then you see people doing that. And then I see people doing that in public. Okay, let's say you don't care about the meal at home, right? It's cheap, you cook it yourself. But you mean to say, you left your home, you got dressed. Maybe you're wearing rags, I don't care. But you went to a place to spend money for a meal and you are not talking to each other. You are busy talking to somebody in Spain, anywhere but at the table, and you think, that's okay? That's not okay. That is not okay. We are setting a pattern for our future. The day you want to connect with that person, they might not be there, or you might not be there. And there is going to be one person left with regret etched on their brow, and they can't do anything about it now. So they sit in the valley of regret. They watch the river flow. They do not see any boat coming to take them because they lost the ride. Where are you now? Are you aware where you are? Are you aware who you are with? Are you aware that you have a relationship, you have someone in your space right now, in the moment, in the now moment that you can chat with, you can smile with, you can share a story with? Are you aware? But we miss that. And we do not know that until the person is gone. Whether they left physically and alive or whether they left you with their toes going forward, lying down. Is that what you're waiting for? For you to realize that person is no longer in your life? The question is, where are you? And are you aware of where you are? You have a significant other. You have a lover. You have a husband. You have whatever that person means to you. That person is in your life. But when you're together, you spend more time on your devices than watching that person in the eyeball. By talking to them and looking at them, putting your glasses up like that and smiling at the person. And that is not the way for you to do this. You have to make sure you are connecting with that human. Or are you aware that that person is telling you something that's going on with them and you're missing it in the moment? When you look up, there's a buzz in the room, but it's not from you guys talking. It's from the TV. It's from some pundit telling you the world is falling apart. And one might be looking at the news and the other one might be looking at their device and shoveling food into their mouth. Did somebody stop to say thank you for preparing this meal today? I really like that. That was a good choice. How was your day? What did you do? You don't have to say it like that. What kind of day did you have? You can ask that question too, you know. And you can put it down. Somebody said to me, you should give up your landline. And because no, you have a cell phone, you don't need to pay the $10 for this landline. But the reason why I have the landline is because when I'm through with social media, I put my phone down. My device goes down. So if somebody calls me, and I tell that to all my friends, do not call me on the landline, on the device. I will not answer it because it will waste my time. Call me on the landline, and that's why I kept it, so I can still connect with you. Because once you get on that device and you're having a conversation, you're going to scroll. Because they can't see you. You're talking and you're scrolling. We need to stop doing that. Because regret just keeps etching on our brows. And we've come into the present moment, which was the future when we were doing all that chattering with the device, looking for something, searching something, sitting next to each other, across from each other, and that device is in your hand. And that person is right there. I am right there. I was right there. When my daughter and her husband decided it was best to why did they come? I think I asked her, why did you come? You could have stayed at your home and do that, save the gas from coming there, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. Because the question you must ask yourself is, where are you in the moment? And are you aware where you are in this moment that we call time? Because today is the future you were worried about. Today is the future you were thinking about. What are you doing now that you know today is the only day you have? And are you going to keep scrolling, or are you going to connect with someone? Today is yesterday. So the question I ask, where are you now? Are you aware where you are? No. In the moment we call now. Because that's where we lose the connection. If you have friends and you go to dinner and your cell phone becomes your friend at dinner, there are two things going on there. You do not respect me enough to think I can have a conversation with you, or that person you're talking to is certainly more important than me unless it is an emergency, and then you can say that and walk away. But we don't do that. We sit there and we both look at waiting. We are not even bowing to each other in that way that you're going, oh, hi, how are you doing? You know, it's so nice to see you. You're looking good. That's all we're doing. And we accept it. I don't. I refuse to accept that. I do not accept it from anybody, including my children. I just walk away. I just get up and I leave the room. Because we're not to be so disrespectful for each other. And then, like the songwriter said, when they're no longer there, through maybe death, or they will break up. Death I can take, but they break up. You know why? Oh, we had nothing in common. You had nothing in common. You choose to kill the one thing you had in common, which was communication. You don't talk. One is at the kitchen table, dinner table, dining table, eating and watching, playing with the phone or device, and the other one is eating and shoveling food down their throat and watching the news and getting angrier and angrier. And then you wonder why you cannot get together on that piece of square or rectangle thing you got, you call a bed. It's not enticing. Because the question for this video is, where are you now? Are you aware where you are? And if you are aware where you are now, remember where you are now was the yesterday you were yearning for. You got the man in your bed. You got the woman in your bed. Put the cell phone away. Turn to that person and hug them. Have dinner and put the phones, those devices away and connect. And talk to the person like you mean it. Talk to them like you feel for them. Do not wait until their toe is going out the door because they're on a stretcher for you to say, why is them? Really? That was not your dream yesterday. You didn't care yesterday when you had dinner together and you didn't talk. You didn't care yesterday when you sat at the dinner table at the restaurant. You paid there with your girlfriend. You're actually going to pay for a meal. And you're not even talking to your friend. And, I must take that. No, you must not take anything unless somebody is very ill and it's an emergency. But we make everything an emergency. And then we realize the whole bloody year has gone by. And they're looking as if they lost something. You didn't lose anything. You just wasn't there when it came. So you didn't lose something. If Wendy showed up, you weren't there. You weren't aware that the sunset was different. You weren't aware to be willing to share the beauty of you and them together. You slowly drift apart because of your devices. And now they're not there. You're making a big deal. You want to have them, the casket has to be bigger than the hotel. The flowers has to be the best in the city. And then you can tell your friends, I gave my parents a nice send-off. Really? Keep your bloody send-off. Give it to me now. I don't want you to send me off. Where are you sending me to? When I needed you to talk to me, you weren't there. So you see, this woman here, I do not tolerate that from any member of my family. I want you to remember the day we spent together now. Where are you now? And are you aware where you are and who you are with? Because that was your dream of yesterday and you're living it today and you're letting it pass through your fingers like water through a sieve. You're not catching anything. You're not catching a memory. And then there's this person that says to me, well, I don't want to take my child to daycare because I will miss her first step. You're going to miss the first step alone at home anyway if you plug them in front of the TV with a device in their hand. Right? I maybe was fortunate to have had children born when devices wasn't the thing. The biggest device there was Mario and those little game things. But I knew I had to keep them captured. So I wrote stories for them during the day. I read the stories to them without pictures so their imagination could soar. And so I know every evening after bath and shower, homework is done. Before that, the bedtime story was from my imaginings. And that made them think. When I would describe a scene for them, they couldn't see the picture, but I took the time my husband would hang at the end of the bedroom door to listen to the story that I wrote and the continuation of it. But so I created that time. It wasn't just go to bed and put good night. No, good night. No, it wasn't like that. I wanted to know at dinner time, what was your story? What happened today? What was going on at school today? Husband, how was it? And sometimes it was funny. I can tell you a short, very funny story. One of the girls had gone to the Science Center in Toronto, and we're having dinner, and she's so excited. She just couldn't contain herself about the Science Center. And she is talking to us about it, and she goes, "Oh, you should have seen this octopus. It had so many testicles." And my husband looks at me, I looked at him, and he goes, they're tentacles. He said, "Whatever that, but there were so many." She didn't even get it. So for her, whenever we do this, there were so many. She keeps laughing because she knows we captured that moment. I captured a moment for my son. This is a funny little thing. He was 5 years old, and he bought me a birthday present. And he told his sister that little birthday present was a little truck that moved, vroom, 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 for mom. And when I gave it to her, she's going to say, "Oh, it's okay, Michael, you can keep it." I said, "Okay, that's what he said. We'll get them." When he gave it to me, I said, "Oh, Michael, this is so nice. I love it. Thank you. I'm going to keep it." And I took vroom, vroom, my toy, and I put it away in my drawer. His face went. I had no intention of giving it to him. I made a promise to myself that day. Every now and again, I'm going to take it and vroom, vroom on the kitchen table or wherever it is, and take it back and put it in my room, in the drawer. And the second part, and that was the bullseye. I thought, the day he gets married, I am going to give it to him. And I did. I did. And tears came down his eye. Now, if I wasn't paying attention to what his sister was telling me, I couldn't have created this. But we didn't have devices, did we? So what are you going to do today? What are you going to do to make sure that you have memories that are lasting, and they're not going to be those that are etched on your brow called regret, and you are twisted and you can't do anything about it? That's for the reason why the poet said, "Give me the rose when I can smell the rose." That means pay attention to me now. It's not a gift of a physical thing, a gift of a touch. It's not a vase, it's not flowers, it's not diamonds, but a touch, a smile, a hello. How are you doing? I enjoyed this meal. Wow, that was tasty. Oh, I love this restaurant. We should do this again. You know, so let me tell you something that happened today. I had mostly thorns in my day. I had no roses. Communicate with words. Leave the devices apart, because we all will live to regret those times, those instances. Where are you now? And are you aware where you are in your relationship with connection with each other? Do not wait until the person does not respond to a kiss or a hug for you to decide, "Oh my God." Do not wait. You want it to bloom, you need to give it fertilizer and sunshine, a little water now and again, because that's how it blooms. If it is left unattended and it is neglected, it will die. It will shrivel up and die, because you weren't conscious of where you were. And you most certainly was not conscious of. Are you aware where you are in this period, on this journey called life? Where are you? Where are you now? Are you aware with whom you are, where you are, the impression you can leave behind, the touches you can make, the smiles that can last a lifetime? Where are you on that journey? The thing is, we have a few minutes left. Even the universe has sometimes, and God has gifts for us. But since we are not aware, we lose the opportunity to capture that gift. Because we're not aware, we miss the essence of an inspiration. If we are aware and we're inspired to take action to do something in the moment, we will pause what we are doing and write that inspiration down so we don't forget it. How many inspirations have you forgotten in the past year? I something, and stop and be aware of where you are. Get your device or get pen and paper, record it or write it down. Capture the moments as they happen because you cannot go back and fix them once they have happened. And that is one of the most important things you have to remember. So make sure as you go through this journey called life, you capture the moment as it happens. And I'm so happy to bring this to you. I have no idea how to end this live on this iPad because I didn't use my thing today. So if I just disappear, it's because I ended. Oh, no live chat, top chat. So that was the chats was at the bottom, so nobody spoke. That's good. I found the button. None live chat and some message chat viewing options. So there wasn't there. So if you end this, I'm going to try. Who is that? Miyuko? Yuko, if that's you. What does that say? Oh, I see. That's not what I need. Therefore, this one is what? This is crazy. I don't know. Anyway, retouch. At least, okay, so we go back. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?